Welcome everyone to this little talk about football clubs in esports, or football clubs in Swiss esports. With me are Torrix, Frédéric Torrix boy. He is president of Qualitas Helvetica, which is now Lausanne-Sports. Thank you very much for joining me, Torrix.
Thanks to you.
And Manuel Helder Oberholzer. He is project and marketing manager of MYI Entertainment. Thanks again for you as well for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
The reason for this talk is that Lausanne-Sports took over Qualitas Helvetica, the whole organization. And this launched kind of a discussion about football clubs in general in Swiss esports, because there have been a few football clubs like FC St. Gallen, like FC Luzern, like FC Servette Genève, and there are rumors about FC Basel joining esports in FIFA. And they, like FC Servette Genf, they don't even focus anymore on FIFA. So there's a little bit of concern about football clubs taking over the Swiss esports scene. And we like to talk about this because I think it's quite an interesting topic. And first, Torrix, please tell us a little bit about how this deal with FC Lausanne-Sports came to life.
We was talking with Lausanne-Sports about maybe a partnership or a sponsorship, because it's a huge entity for us in the Canton de Vaud. I don't know how can I say that in English, but in discussion, we came to really fast to the same point of view. We want to grow up, we want visibility, and the Lausanne-Sports want to touch maybe more the young people, because in the stadium they don't have a lot of kids or maybe teenager or maybe young adult, and with esports, it's a great link between the young, and with Qualitas, we need really help about visibility and credibility on sponsor, and of course financial issue. It's important too.
Okay, and have you been a kind of a Lausanne-Sports fan already, or kind of a football fan? So did a dream come true with this deal for you?
I was fan of another club.
Another club. Okay.
No. Certainly, since I was a kid, I'm a huge fan of Lausanne-Sports on football or on hockey club. So I'm a big fan about the city. And when I was young, it was like a dream for me to play for Lausanne-Sports. And today I'm president of a branch of Lausanne-Sports. So I'm really proud of me and my team, but it's a huge project and a huge dream for us, yes, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, sounds nice. Let's talk about money. Okay? That's the first topic I'd like to discuss with you. Money is always a huge thing, especially I think for esports organizations in Switzerland, because in the past few years, there hasn't been that much money around in the scene, and clubs were struggling. For example, MYI wasn't able, because of the money, to keep their very successful Heroes of the Storm team under the name of My Insanity, and that's just one example. So Lausanne-Sports announced a budget of $20,000 per year for the esports section. Manu, I think, or I'm pretty sure you got more than that for My Insanity per year.
I can't, will not comment on that, But like we are in a special situation since we have the international branch and the Switzerland branch. You mentioned the Heroes of the Storm team leaving us, which was a German team, or mostly Germans. And yeah, as you said, they left us just because they got more money from an organization which was also backed by investors, kind of. So, like they are still not depending on a return. And yeah, you see that internationally a lot. Like there was already Fnatic announced some days ago that they have now huge investors, and internationally it's already happening. And what we see now in Switzerland starting as well.
But basically, $20,000. What do you think for a whole organization to run an entire year?
Like, it's not that much. People might think, wow, that's a huge sum, but if you count all the hours that go into an organization, like on the management side, like all the teams are relying on a lot of volunteers, and if you have to pay them all for their work, and which would be fair in my opinion, 20,000 is nothing. And then you also have to pay like players, and it would be cool to have coaches and supporting stuff like psychologists and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not that much.
Okay, you got anything to say to that, Torrix?
No, he's totally right. 20,000 is not that much, but actually for us, it's only our first year with Lausanne-Sports, so it's like maybe a bet if this project works. And obviously for our staff and our manager, it's still a passion before a work. But maybe if we continue to work like that in 2 years, 3 years, maybe we can pay them with salaries, and we can have a lot of more money. But for the first year, it was obvious for us to start with a low budget and maybe grow up years after it. But it's not our goal to come and put a lot of money on it. And maybe we are not ready for have a lot of money for this project. But we have to work every day, every weeks, and we will see the next year maybe.
Yeah, and like, don't understand me wrong. Like 20K is a lot for Switzerland, but yeah, it's not a lot if you count in all the work that goes into such an organization. But compared to other teams, like that's already a nice sum. And
yeah, you're right. But
we'll be able to do a lot with that.
You're right. Our goal actually with Lausanne-Sports is to be competitive in Switzerland. It's not in our goal actually to have an European team or world team. As I said, maybe in 2-3 years, but for a start project, we want to be more professional in Switzerland at first.
Okay. That makes sense in general. But so what I get from that is that you haven't had 20,000 before this deal with Lausanne for Qualitas Helvetica.
Excuse me?
You haven't had those 20,000 for Qualitas Helvetica. You had less for your organization before.
Yeah. Of course, it's not a secret. Qualitas Helvetica was with like 5,000 or maybe 10 if we are lucky, but it was not much, and Lausanne bring us the double in our financial issue. Yeah. Okay.
And what do you think about the topic? Well, other clubs. Well, Lausanne-Sports isn't a football club that has that much money in general in Switzerland, also in football. So, but there are others like FC Basel. I mentioned earlier. They think about joining eSports and stuff. They got more money.
Yeah.
And what do you think about?
Then we could run in the same situation which we have internationally. That like FC Basel, if they enter esports, I guess they don't want to just start with a tier 2 team or something. So they will try to get some of the best teams, and they will just spend as much money they need to get those teams. And then we come into the situation which we already have internationally, that salaries are being paid which aren't really they are competitive because the market is dictating in the end, but they are not providing them with really a return. So they won't get as much reach or visibility back as they paid. And yeah, then in my opinion, then the problems will start for smaller teams who don't have a budget yet, so a budget to compete with an investor funded team.
I really want to see Basel come in esports or spend a lot of money, because with esports, everyone talking about esports, but everyone doesn't want to spend a lot of money in esports because they are afraid, or it's not a good business actually for some guys. And if Basel come and spend a lot of money, maybe some investor or sponsor will say, oh, okay, if Basel trusts the esports, maybe we have to trust too, like Lausanne do or Geneva. And maybe it would be great for the Swiss esports and the other smaller team, because if the sponsor trusts esports, maybe they will go with a little team in Switzerland. So it could be great, but I really want to see that and where we are going with a football club. That's why I'm glad to be with Lausanne-Sports and with experience we had before with Qualitas, because they took the entire team and not only one player or one huge team, and we can continue our passion is not only winning tournament, it's about esports. We got maybe less stronger team than another team, but we don't care. We like esports and we continue like that. We don't need to be first at every tournament, and that's why we're fine with this situation.
Yeah, you just basically you just gave me the perfect opportunity to go on to the next topic, but I still want to stay on the financial topic for some minutes, because you mentioned it also. It could be a blessing for smaller or traditional esports teams, because other investors see, okay, wow, there are some big companies going into esports and spending some money. Maybe we should do it too. Yeah. Do you really think, Manu, that it could be a blessing for you as my insanity?
Yeah, I think it always has its ups and downside. Like as Torrix said, it obviously gives more credibility or legitimacy to the whole Swiss esports scene. And then one question is if it's really worth then, if it pays out. And the other question is, yeah, if then people can deliver, kind of. So you then see, like, investors are already speaking about esports. It's not like Basel will change that extremely. And you also see, like, sponsors already knowing about esports and are interested in that. And just another football club or the next football club won't change that drastically, in my opinion. But obviously we're getting more attention by that. But yeah, in the end, I don't know if a small structure, just a small organization which can't work as professional as Qualitas, for example, can then profit and then like really talk to an investor. I really doubt that. I think if an investor then thinks, oh yeah, esports, Swiss esports is cool, they will just, I don't know, fund their own teams with some specialists in that field, or go another way. And like Qualitas was a good deal in my opinion. Like I was always a fan of Qualitas, and I'm also a bit sad that now it's gone. I'm happy that the staff stays, but they are already, or they have a core team which can work professional, and I think Lausanne saw that, and otherwise they wouldn't have invested. And there are many teams who can't provide that or can't provide that yet.
To be honest with you guys, it was kind of hard to say goodbye to the Qualitas Helvetica's works with or design or marketing and so many, but we don't see this like lost. We saw it like our works paid, and a huge team want to work with us, and we have to do it. Let's try. For us, it's not a lost, but obviously we will see where it's gonna be. With Geneva, maybe it could be great too, but it's hard to say where these things lead esports in Switzerland. I personally think it will help some shy sponsor about giving more money or only trust maybe a team. But when you ask to Manuel from Infinity if it's gonna help him, I think not, because Infinity is like a huge entity. They have nothing to prove. They just rule over the Switzerland for years ago, and I think it's not gonna be great for a team like Man City. It will be great for a smaller team. In my own opinion, Man City is like a leader for Swiss esports, and they don't need really help like that. But it will be great for the entirely Swiss esports, I think.
Like Silent Gaming, you can't really name as a small team because they are also big as well, and are really professional organized. But maybe you talk about Arctic Gaming or Swiss Prime Gaming, Helvets and stuff.
Yeah, at least Helvet is a huge team because they got a lot of members, but maybe they just need more help or more money. But a team like Noetic, Helvet, maybe RTX and everyone just need maybe just credit and money, and they can make now some jobs, and why not? If it can help them, it will be just really great for the Swiss sports, I think.
Yeah, and you have, I think I have to correct kind of my answer, because you have teams like Helvets or Swiss Prime Gaming, which are like also organized pretty good in my opinion, what I can see from the outside. They have nice branding and active on social media and are involved in the scene, but they don't have sponsors yet.
Yeah, you're right.
And at the moment they are investing mostly their own money to pay for their work or to keep the organization running, and maybe those are candidates who can profit if another investor is interested to work with them, or at least sponsors.
Mm-hmm. And one last thing I'd like to mention kind of in this topic is Manu, you said something, or I don't. Nah, I'm not quite sure if it was you or if it was Remo in his article. Remo, by the way, a fantastic article, I think. I think you agree, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, it was...
No, Remo, it was a perfect article for us, and it's very clear. Remo doing a good job for now. It's perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
Maybe you should consider writing for eSports.ch.
Yeah. I told him I was a bit jealous. Like, I'm always in this situation. I have to cater like different organizations as an event organizer. Like, all organizations are in the end our customers. So I can never go in a position like him and really dig up and spread out my Yeah.
And just
I
say
own
what you would like to say.
Yeah. I always have to be a little bit careful, and Remo is in this perfect position to be like Ryan Lewis or something, Richard Lewis.
Yeah, I think well, I am in this situation as well.
Yeah, true.
Because that's pretty cool. I can absolutely confirm that. Am I back again?
You're moving again, and we.
Yeah, it's back.
Yeah, you're moving as well. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing.
Oh.
No. That's too early. What I wanted to say was, well, we talked about money, and I think the conclusion is to make a conclusion at this point, that there are lots of opportunities, but we need good people, which are able to take those opportunities and to sell their own organizations to potential sponsors. And I think that's what it's all about. Am I right?
Yeah, but I think it's also important that people have to recognize it's like all these budgets are not going only in the salaries or like in the entry fees for LAN parties. It should also be like the supporting teams behind all those players getting like their share, and because doing good social media, doing good marketing is as much important as being a good team.
Yeah, definitely, because you can be first on every LAN in Switzerland, and someone talks about you are first in every LAN, but if the people don't see any pictures or any updates on social media with, hey man, guys, we won and let's celebrate, it's cool. I think that's absolutely as important as having good players.
Yeah,
which can win the LANs. And this brings me to our second topic. And the second topic is, we talked about how important it is to have the right people. And this people always bring a culture with them. Or we in gaming, in esports, we have our own culture, and we are pretty proud about our culture, about how our events work, about people coming to LANs and see those thousand computers lining up, and they just make, what the fuck? And we are just like, yeah! And the thing is, we are not that much over organized or over managed, and I think we kind of like that, don't we?
I wouldn't say we are not over organized, but I totally agree that we have our own culture, and the culture is very important.
Yeah, and to take you by your words, Manu. You've mentioned, I think it was earlier this week, via Facebook when we wrote about the topic. You said esports intends to be kind of a counter movement to classic sports, where everything is always overmanaged and boring.
Yeah.
Torrix, what do you think about that sentence?
But
it's rude, man.
It's weird, or it's true?
No, there is a part of true, but it's maybe too. You take a great position here, but it's hard for me to say he's right or he's wrong. There is a part of true, but I'm not pretty sure about it, to be honest.
What are your thoughts about the kind of culture clash between real sports and esports?
Real sports.
But what are you thinking about the clash between the sport and esports? Have you got some example, maybe?
Yeah, for example, we all know football, for example, is pretty a hard business. Okay, it's about money. It's about player salary and huge marketing and marketing business, and every club tries to put its money together from sponsoring and marketing deals the players make and stuff like that. So it's a hard business, and Swiss esport isn't that hard business.
No, not yet. But I think even in Swiss esports, we are kind of close of the sports business plan as a football club. We are close. Some teams are making the same things. They are more professional, with a lot of communication, marketing, and everything is close. But we need maybe some credibility and visibility, and the works will be the same, I think, even in Swiss esports. But obviously in international esports, it's the same as a football club, in my own opinion.
Like, I agree on the business side. Like the business model is quite similar to traditional sport, but the statement really quoted me on was more about the culture itself, meaning that gamers come from the internet, and the whole internet has all this, the memes and the stuff happening around. Like Reddit is very important, and like many football clubs aren't in these fields. They have other traditions, and they go way back. Like FC St. Gallen is proud to be one of the oldest football teams, and like this is another culture. And I think the upside of this Qualitas acquisition was that they kept the stuff, and you guys, Torrix is still Torrix. He's still doing his thing, still dabbing. So this culture is still here. But if other clubs just take over the players and not really the supporting stuff behind that, some of the culture could go away, in my opinion, which is sad.
Yeah, but you're right. But maybe in 50 years or 100 years, if esports still living, maybe we've got some clubs to see in the past too. I think the difference is only the football is old sports, and esports it's too new for having the similar culture and history. That's why. But if we have this discussion in 20 years, maybe we will just saying the same, but some clubs will saying, "Wow, we are here from 30 years," and we will have the same as football clubs, in my opinion, obviously.
Okay, but is it because of this actual cultural differences at the moment? Isn't it kind of the responsibility of people like you, Torrix, to keep our culture, our things, our kind of how we do things, and not letting you how should I say that, dictate by the professional football clubs having their marketing pros and stuff telling you how to do things?
Yeah, it's a strange position for us because obviously it's hard for people to change the usual works, but we have to be honest, and our staff and old Qualitas members are not perfect, and we are not professional as a club like Lausanne-Sports is. We need tips from them, and we have to adapt our works flow with their tips. So it's hard for me to say. I don't want to be dictated by maybe some more professional guy, but if we want to step up and grow up the Swiss esports and be more professional, more more everything, we have to listen to this guy and take the best tips and just step up and make our own way. I think that's actually what we are doing with Lausanne-Sports. They're not saying like, oh, stop it, your Facebook is a shame, manage it like that, or stop dabbing on Twitter, but it's fine to dab.
It's fun to dab, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't say that, but maybe they call to me and they say, okay, maybe for the next event you have to do this this on this way. It will be better for your fans. And okay, let's try, or no, we can't because we know our gamer community more than you, so we have to adapt everything. But every tips is great for us, and we want to step up. Obviously, we're not perfect actually, and we'll never be perfect.
But you still try to keep your maybe your own Qualitas Helvetica culture.
Yes, maybe, but with Lausanne-Sports, we got the same point of view, actually, the same goals, the same idea. So we are a big Lausanne family now with Lausanne-Sports, and I don't think we try to keep the Qualitas Helvetica thing. Obviously, it was really fun, and I was proud of Qualitas Helvetica, but it's in the past, and now we are to look with Lausanne-Sports to the future. And I don't feel like I still free. We are still free. We can do what we want, and it's a goal from Lausanne-Sports to let our team freedom, and because if they work with us, it's because they like the way we do on eSports, and they want to continue like that. So I'm free and the team is free. Yeah, it's sure. I'm sure about it.
Mm-hmm. That sounds nice. Manu, I felt like you had kind of a point in concerning the culture of teams. Have you anything to say about that? Or about what Torrix just said?
Yeah, I already said, like, I'm that's what I'm a bit afraid of when all these football clubs are entering. But in this case of the Qualitas and Lausanne merger, like, I was very happy because the stuff stays the same, and basically just the name changes and they get help to be more professional. So in this case, I'm not so concerned. I would just be sad if in I don't know, in a year we have the pre-fire ranking and there's only football clubs on it, and that would in my opinion be a bit sad, because then it's not gaming anymore, not our culture totally anymore. Like, you always see this special names which are only happening in esports, like Ninjas of Pyjamas, one of the biggest teams. Like, their name is hilarious, but this is coming from their gaming background, and they also can work as a professional organizations. And also, even if I hate the capital Y in our name, it still comes from this culture. And I would just be, I don't know how bad it would be for me to not seeing this anymore. Maybe it's just some nostalgic feelings, and they would go away after some time, and I would get used to it. But maybe I'm just typical Swiss guy and don't love change at all and want everything to stay the same. Usually I'm very liberal, but here I'm kind of conservative. I don't know. It's strange.
To be fair and honest with you, when the first talk with Lausanne-Sports was to merge Qualitas and Lausanne-Sports, I was totally afraid too, because it was not what I imagined for the esports future. But obviously it will be sad if in Premier League skill class 1 we will see only football club. I will be the first to say it's sad, but I'm working now with a football club, and I think I can provide more for the Swiss eSports and my team with this. So I'm happy now, but yeah, in 10 years there is only football club. It will be really sad, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, I don't see my entity merge with football club one day, and it's a huge entity. Like,
at least Silent Gaming.
Yeah, exactly. Silent Gaming maybe will never merge with football team, and like Helvet, like maybe Noetic, or Ninja and Pyjamas, Fnatic, bigger team. Maybe they never merge because they are also bigger than a football club. So I think football club and esports club can live together, and they can continue the esports passion, I think.
Yeah, I haven't been concerned about that you aren't, as Qualitas Helvetica, aren't able to keep your culture, to keep your spirit and your mindset. But not every organization is like Qualitas Helvetica or Silent Gaming or My Insanity or stuff, because they have people which really have their own mind, which can also, kind of, when it comes to negotiations with clubs and stuff, they can make their own point, and they are able to do that. But when it comes to smaller organizations which aren't experienced in negotiating, and then comes some football club and says, "Hey, man, come on, we give you $20,000 and you take our name and stuff, and then we always tell you what to do." What happens then? Because the people don't know it better. They can't really make a difference between, okay, what this guy says is good, and the other thing he says isn't that good because we do it different.
Yeah, but for a smaller team or with less experienced team, if a football club contacts them, it will be really hard to say no. We want to continue like that, because Qualitas was a very little team at the first, and I know how hard it is to see your project be hard to step up. You want to bring more, but it's hard. It's every day. It's a work. It's a job. And if a football club come to you as a little team, obviously it's too hard for saying no, and everyone will say yes. And after that, maybe it's gonna the man will say yes and the project will say yes, will not be very happy on the long time, because, as you say, maybe they want to do another things, another way to do, but they can't realize on this moment because they saw the future brighter with the football club, and maybe they will realize 6 months, 1 year after that, oh damn, I will not making this promotion, I will not having this team, and I was wrong about it. But it's too hard for saying no, I think, for a small team.
Yeah, but that's exactly the problem, isn't it? It's too good to say no.
If a football club really wants to pick up a team which is so small that they can't even really understand a contract or estimate like their value out of a contract, then I don't know if those are the right people anyway. Like, why would the football club work with them?
Yeah, but that's not the topic. Maybe the football club wants kind of that stuff, so the football club can, or any club can just has an easy game telling the people what to do.
No, yeah, you're definitely right, but we have to understand that the football club doesn't know what is esports, and they doesn't understand how esports works actually, and that's why they came to the bigger team, or maybe more credibility, maybe with team with more credibility, because they need a guy or a team and say, okay, do what you do actually, continue like that, but under your own name, and everything gonna be all right. You will get more credibility in esports community. And that's why I don't think it's smart for a football club to come to a little team or a new team, because they have to prove that they are good on esports, they are passionate. It's not smart for a football club to go with a little team. In my opinion, it's important to have experienced guy and have a good team, a good professional team.
Okay, and to bring some kind of how do I say that, actuality into this topic, I've heard today, and today is Wednesday, the 12th of April, time of the recording, that Lausanne just took over another team, which is a small team, and that's Improve Gaming, their LOL team. So Improve Gaming will play as Lausanne-Sports in the future, at Polylan already, if I understood you right. And well, that is a football club taking over a smaller team.
Oh, sorry, I hear you. And yeah, we talk about with Improve for the League of Legends team, and yes, they will play. They will play at Polyland for us. It will be the first event with them, and it's really a great new team for us, because League of Legends is not our base game. We don't really know this game, this esports scene, and take a huge team like Improve is perfect for us, because they will bring some skills level, obviously, but they will bring knowledge, and they know everyone, they know everything about League of Legends and events, and we'll really need that in our team. So it was the perfect lineup for us.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny, because when I look back to when Remo released his article, our all loved Luckily made some comments down there, and one of them is, let's be real, it's also super freaking awesome to play under a football team's name, at least to me as a big football fan myself. Was that the kick point for you to ask Improve?
To be transparent and clear with you, Improve came to us first. It's important for me because, as you said before, Manuel, we don't have a lot of money actually, and I was not thinking a huge team like that will be playing for us with low money, and they trust us, they trust our works, they need and they want our visibility, and yeah, they are football fans, and for them it's maybe more, how can I say in English? It's maybe more easier to fight for a big name, as a name like Qualitas Improve would maybe means nothing. But if you want, it's we won for Lausanne-Sports. It's like winning a huge tournament, like football players. When you won the Champions League, you don't want it for you. You want it for the team, and maybe that's what a big team in League of Legends need. They have to fight for something, because in Switzerland they won a lot, and they need a reason to continue the work, continue the fight, and I think that was the key point for in the discussion with them. Yeah.
But Manu, it's...
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, obviously.
because you said before that you want to focus on Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yes, Improve is the strongest team in League of Legends in Switzerland currently, by far. But they are so good they don't really have competition in Switzerland, so they go outside of Switzerland, and they will also compete a lot internationally.
Yeah, obviously. I think our new League of Legends team and our Hearthstone team got maybe very good level for Switzerland, but I think they can have the European level and doing some European events like maybe DreamHack or other events. And yeah, obviously it will bring some visibility for us if they won or they are good in DreamHack's bigger event. And I think it's a kind of way to be helpful for the Switzerland, because if one team like Man City International, it's funny because before I started eSports and Qualitas Helvetica, I was a huge fan about Man City League of Legends it was not the LCS, it was just before Challengers League, I think.
Yeah, Challenger Series, yeah.
Yeah, Challenger Series, and I was like, oh my god, it's a Swiss team. I have to be a fan of them. It's beautiful, and maybe I start esports because my insanity. It's hard to say, but I think when I was younger, I was a fan, and if Lausanne-Sports can bring a top team in European, it will help for Swiss esports, I think too. But you're right, our League of Legends team and maybe Hearthstone team can make some bigger events. Truly, we'll use Lausanne-Sports staff and money to make and be at more events in Europe. I would like to be on DreamHack France and DreamHack Sweden, and maybe some Germany events. It would be great. Yeah.
Okay, but Lausanne Esports takes over another Swiss organization.
But are you really taking over the whole organization? Not only the...
But, Improve is kind of League of Legends.
That's we're just taking the League of Legends team and the manager of this team with us.
Yeah, because Improve, until, I don't know, some months ago, they were just a small community, League of Legends community. Like, they have several teams. And then they picked up the former Dead Pixels team, which is now going to Lausanne Esports. So it's not like Improve will be dead now, I think.
Yeah.
Just go back to the stance they had.
That's absolutely true. Improve won't disappear, kind of. But it will kind of disappear in the competitive scene, unless suddenly in the Improve organization someone comes up, a team comes up as good as the former Improve team.
Yeah.
But competitive, they are irrelevant then.
Yeah, but I think Improve will not die because, as I can see, it's really professional team, and also they know what they want to do on the future, and they want to step up, and I think it will not going to die with this move. And if this team died because we took one team, I will be really sad, to be honest, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Maybe we should talk in 3 months, but I don't think so.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah, obviously. It's not my goal. And as I said before, it's the League of Legends team to come to us, and it should be stupid for us if we say no, because it's a really good and huge team, and it was really perfect for us in League of Legends.
Yeah. Manu, you wanted to say something?
Maybe just to stress, like, I don't know, in football, you kind of have the expectation that only the Super League teams matter. And then as you said, if Improve isn't in that top 10 anymore, they don't matter competitively. But I think it's still important to have all those teams to build up the community, and in the end, there are also many viewers and fans in those teams, and maybe an upcoming pro player. So it's still important for us to create an environment or an ecosystem where these teams are or have incentives to exist and to play. And maybe that's a good thing of the Pre-Fire League, which has like several skill classes. And also gives smaller teams an incentive to compete and to practice regularly.
Kind of a bit like Swiss SMP. They are a huge community, a huge group of players just like to play games and to play games with other people, and just like that, for example.
Yeah, I mean, we as Mindset, we get many emails from people who, or guys who just play one game. They don't have really knowledge about the Swiss scene, but they just ask, hey, I play Overwatch as well. Can I join your team or stuff like that? And I mean, that's not the way how you get into esports. You have to get it, or collect your first experience in a team, because you cannot not only solo queue and stuff like that and then be playing a big team like in all the team games. This is really important. Therefore, it's important to have those smaller teams which also compete regularly and practice regularly to build up the stars of the future. Kind of.
Well said. Well said. So finally, to come to a little conclusion, our topic was initially that football clubs take over the Swiss esports scene. First, Torrix, in the end of our discussion, what do you think? How big is this risk, or is it even a risk?
It's a small risk, I think. For us, it was a big challenge because I was guessing what's gonna be the reaction of other team, other friends in esports. I was kind of afraid about it, but it's still a risk today, because if in 1 year Lausanne-Sports thinks it's not worth, or we bad, or we don't have any credibility, they will just stop the project. So it's a risk. But I think the way of we are working, actually, the way of Lausanne-Sports are working for us today. This project is pretty awesome, and we will say maybe in 2 or 3 years. But it's always a risk to shut down a structure, a team like Qualitas Helvetica. But to me, it's a risk. It's a risk to take. It was very important to try, and if I was declined the offer, every day I will remember the offer, and I was like, okay, why I don't try this? And
yeah, you would have regretted.
Yeah, I will regret. Well, yes, if I decline the offer, I will regret. I have to try this, and today I'm trying with my team, and we're glad, we're happy, but maybe in 1 year I will be still happy, or maybe just sad, but I think it's gonna be all right.
Okay, and Manu, are you still very concerned about the developings, or do you think everything will come good?
I think everything will come good. Like, my concerns didn't like disappear completely. As I said, like in general, it's a good thing that those those traditional sport teams come in, give us legitimacy and more professional structures and stuff like that. That's all a good thing. Like, I was worrying about more the culture and having only football teams in the scene in the end. which is more of an emotional thing. But in total, I'm sure this will help esports and Swiss esports to grow even further.
Okay, cool. These are very good words to end with. But, guys, we have agreed on something, and this will take a little bit of coordination. First of all, to our viewers, thank you very much that you watched this talk. I think we had talked about 1 hour. It's insane, but I think it was absolutely interesting. It made a lot of fun. Hope you guys too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was great, and it's always a pleasure to talk with you guys. Manuel, we're talking a lot every day, but it was great. Thanks for this talk, and sorry about my English. For the next talk, I will be better, I promise you.
We're now doing a practice group, me and Torrix.
Okay, exactly. I'll join you immediately. But thanks, and I hope the next talk won't be that much far away. And now, guys, I will count from 3 to 1, and then we do our thing. Okay?
Okay.
Prepare yourselves. 3, 2, 1.
I'm the Done Master.
eSports.ch. Powered by UPC.